Please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn and enjoy our free online educational videos from class nursery to 10. Please click the bell icon to get all new updated videos.
Lesson 5. The fundamental unit of life. Cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He observed the cells in a cork slice with the help of a primitive microscope. This was the very first time that someone had observed that living things appear to consist of separate units. The use of the word cell to describe these units. What are living organisms made up of? Take a small piece from an onion bulb. With the help of a pair of forceps, we can peel off the skin called epidermis from the concave side, inner layer of the onion. Let us take a glass slide, put a drop of water on it and transfer a small piece of the peel from the watch glass to the slide. Now, we put a drop of safranin solution on this piece followed by a cover slip. We can observe this slide under the microscope. We can see some structures. These small structures that we see are the basic building units of the onion bulb. These structures are called cells. Not only onions, but all organisms that we observe around are made up of cells. However, there are also single cells that live on their own. A single cell may constitute a whole organism, as in amoeba, chlamydomonas, paramecium, and bacteria. These organisms are called unicellular organisms. Uni equal to single. On the other hand, many cells group together in a single body and assume different functions in it to form various body parts in multicellular organisms, multi equal to many, such as some fungi, plants and animals. The shape and size of cells are related to the specific function they perform. Some cells like amoeba have changing shapes. In some cases, the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar for a particular type of cell. For example, nerve cells have a typical shape. Each living cell has the capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristic of all living forms. A cell is able to live and perform all its functions because of its organelles. These organelles together constitute the basic unit called the cell. It is interesting that all cells are found to have the same organelles no matter what their function is or what organism they are found in. What is a cell made up of? What is the structural organization of a cell? If we study a cell under a microscope, we would come across three features in almost every cell: plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Plasma membrane or cell membrane. This is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. The plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials in and out of the cell. It also prevents movement of some other materials. The cell membrane, therefore, is called a selectively permeable membrane. Some substances like carbon dioxide or oxygen can move across the cell membrane by a process called diffusion. Water also obeys the law of diffusion. The movement of water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane is called osmosis. Unicellular freshwater organisms and most plant cells tend to gain water through osmosis. Absorption of water by plant roots is also an example of osmosis. Cell wall. Plant cells, in addition to the plasma membrane, have another rigid outer covering called the cell wall. The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Cellulose is a complex substance and provides structural strength to plants. Nucleus. The nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. It also plays a crucial part, along with the environment, in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity, by directing the chemical activities of the cell. The nucleus has a double-layered covering called the nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside. The nucleus contains chromosomes which are visible as rod-shaped structures only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes contain information for inheritance of features from parents to next generation in the form of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid molecules. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. Cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is the fluid content inside the plasma membrane. It also contains many specialized cell organelles. Each of these organelles performs a specific function for the cell. Cell organelles. Some important examples of cell organelles which we will discuss now are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, plastids and vacuoles. Endoplasmic reticulum (ER). The endoplasmic reticulum (ER) is a large network of membrane-bound tubes and sheets. It looks like long tubules or round or oblong bags, vesicles. The ER membrane is similar in structure to the plasma membrane. The Golgi apparatus. The Golgi apparatus, first described by Camillo Golgi, consists of a system of membrane-bound vesicles arranged approximately parallel to each other in stacks called cisterns. These membranes often have connections with the membranes of ER and therefore constitute another portion of a complex cellular membrane system. The Golgi apparatus is also involved in the formation of lysosomes. Lysosomes. Lysosomes are a kind of waste disposal system of the cell. Lysosomes help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn-out cell organelles. Foreign materials entering the cell, such as bacteria or food, as well as old organelles, end up in the lysosomes, which break them up into small pieces. Mitochondria. Mitochondria are known as the powerhouses of the cell. The energy required for various chemical activities needed for life is released by mitochondria in the form of ATP. ATP, adenosine triphosphate molecules. ATP is known as the energy currency of the cell. The body uses energy stored in ATP for making new chemical compounds and for mechanical work. Plastids. Plastids are present only in plant cells. There are two types of plastids: chromoplasts, colored plastids, and leucoplasts, white or colorless plastids. Plastids containing the pigment chlorophyll are known as chloroplasts. Chloroplasts are important for photosynthesis in plants. Chloroplasts also contain various yellow or orange pigments in addition to chlorophyll. Leucoplasts are primarily organelles in which materials such as starch, oils, and protein granules are stored. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are storage sacs for solid or liquid contents. Vacuoles are small-sized in animal cells, while plant cells have very large vacuoles. The central vacuole of some plant cells may occupy 50 to 90% of the cell volume.